This is cs952, Introduction to Web Technologies and Design. We just added links. We just made all of our social icons, Facebook, Google, YouTube, we turned those into links, but when we did that, the text color became blue because that is the default color for a link. If you visited an old website, you probably noticed that anytime there was a word that was a link, it always had a blue color. So there's nothing new about this coloration. What if we don't want this to be blue? Maybe we liked the white color text, or we like it to be a different text. Well, we just need to create a CSS style rule that says anchors shouldn't be blue, but should be whatever color we'd like them to be. So we're going to go to our CSS designer. We're going to put this rule in our styles file. We want this to be a global rule because we want it to affect all our different views, whether we're viewing it on a mobile device or on a desktop computer. We want the color of our links to always be the same. So I'm going to click on plus to add a selector. And the selector that Dreamweaver offers us is exactly the selector that we want. It's ID a footer or # footer. So this rule is only going to take effect to anchors or links that are inside of the footer. And then A stands for anchor, and of course anchor is the technical HTML term for a link. Whenever we link to another page, we're always using the anchor tag. Okay, so this is exactly 100% precisely the selector that we want, so we hit enter. Now what we want to do is we want to change the color of the text, and we want to make it white. So how do we do that? We just go to our text properties, we click on color, and remember we saved white as a color swatch earlier, so I just click on the color white and then I hit enter. And when I do that, now all of our icons are back to being the color white. And I can hit save all, and this time Dreamweaver did not ask us if we wanted to update all the pages, because the only change we made was to our styles.css file. So let's see real quick, how does this look when we go to Chrome? And there we go, we're good to go. Click on Twitter, there's our Twitter page. Click back to, we'll go to our contact page, and now we've got all of our icons working just like we want them to. So that was all that we needed to do to fix that problem. That was a pretty quick fix. So we've used Font Awesome to add these essential social icons to the bottom of our website, and we like the look of this. Let's see if we can't use Font Awesome in at least one other page to make our site look a little bit more interesting. I'm going to go to our media page, and we've got our video section and we have our audio section. So let's switch back to Dreamweaver and let's open up our media page. So I'm going to close my template and I'm going to close my text files. You know what, let's leave this open because I left myself a little hint down here. I'm going to go back to files and I am going to open up our media page. So I've opened up our media page and I'm going to click on video, and here is our video tag right here in the code. And what I'd like to do is add in the Font Awesome film icon. So I can go back over here to Chrome. Let me go to my Font Awesome page, and I'm going to scroll up and click on the link for icons, and I'm going to do a search for film, F-I-L-M, and there it is. That's what I'm going to use for my video. I'm going to click on that. So this is the actual code that we need to add in. So let's highlight and copy and go back to Dreamweaver. Now if we put our Font Awesome code before the H2 link, if I paste that in there, that will work. I can hit refresh. But it kind of is sitting up there, it's looking kind of small. That's not really the effect that we were looking for. What we want to do instead, let's undo our change. So let's put it there in front of my video and then hit paste and refresh. And that's the effect we're going for, right? We've got our little icon and then the word video. They're sitting right next to each other, so I can fix this in two different ways. I can hit the space bar and hit refresh, and that'll give us a space. There's one other thing we could do, and that is add in a non-breaking space. So I'm going to delete. and I'm going to hit refresh. And we've run across non-breaking spaces before, right, when we were working with tables, and I mentioned that Dreamweaver uses the HTML non-breaking space to reserve a space to make sure that we always have a space. This might be one place where we'd like to keep that icon right next to the word video. So we can go under Insert, and we can go to HTML, and all the way down at the bottom of our page, I'm going to have to do a screen print screen on this because I don't think you're going to be able to see it. But there is a HTML item for non-breaking space, and the shortcut for that is Control-Shift-Space. So I'm going to choose non-breaking space, and that's the code it inserts. Again, this is the same code that we saw with our table, and I'm going to hit refresh. And now we've got a non-breaking space. It's going to guarantee that we always have a space between the film icon and the word video. So let's do the same thing for audio. I'm going to click on audio. Here's my audio tag, my H2 tag with the word audio in it. And rather than going to the Font Awesome page, in my text file, I made myself a note that this is what I wanted to use. I wanted to use this icon. It's called Volume Up. And I'm going to right click and copy. I'm going to go back to my media page. Where are we? Oh yeah, over here, audio. Yep. And I'm going to paste. There we go. I like the look of that. Again, we want to have that space. So if you remember, the shortcut to add in a non-breaking space is to hold down on your keyboard Control plus Shift plus space, and Dreamweaver inserts that non-breaking space for us. We can hit refresh, and that looks good. I like that. And if you spend more time going back to the Font Awesome page, you can see that there's something like an amazing, like 600 and some different icons. So Font Awesome is a really good way to add a lot of visual appeal to your page. Let's go ahead and click Preview in Chrome. Do you want to save changes? Yep. And there we go. That's what our media page looks like now. Looks a little bit better. Looks a little bit more like a media page.